Welcome again to our channel, Shifting Grades. As you watch our channel, just alongside the topic, on the right hand side, you will see the word subscribe. Kindly tap it and you'll be subscribed to our channel. It will cost you nothing, and by that, you'll be getting our updates immediately we upload a new topic. Therefore now, I would like us to start another topic, which is a book 4 topic, and the name of this topic is Longitudes and Latitudes. I know we've been hearing the word longitudes and latitudes, maybe from geography or other areas in life. Therefore, we want to study now the concepts behind latitudes and longitudes, because we know these are imaginary lines which cut across the Earth's surface, either from the southern pole to the north pole or from east to west, depending on which imaginary line it is. Therefore, I would like us to start with small circles and great circles. The first thing I would like us to differentiate is great circles and small circles. Great circles and small circles. Let's observe this sphere. I know we all aware that the Earth's surface is a sphere, or the Earth in shape, it is spherical, even though it is not perfectly a sphere. It is spherical. Therefore, we are going to define a few basic lines before we continue. Sometimes we have this line which runs from the south to the north, pole. See this, the north pole, the south pole, sorry. And this is the north pole. Therefore, this imaginary line, which runs from the north to the south pole, and it is 0 degrees. This line is 0 degrees. We call it Greenwich meridian. Greenwich meridian, or the prime meridian. It is 0 degrees, prime meridian. Therefore, we have the prime meridian, which runs from the north pole to the south pole of the Earth's surface. And now we have other meridians now. So the lines which cut from the north pole to the south pole of the Earth's surface are called meridians, and their other name is longitudes. We are going to state that. Therefore, you find the other meridians now also run down like that, or on the other side like that. Therefore, you find that a meridian which are cutting from north pole to the south pole are dividing the Earth into 2 hemispheres. And therefore, we say that now this type of circles, it's good to note, the circles which divide or cuts, which divides the Earth's surface into two equal parts are called great circles. They are called great circles. Therefore, we are saying these great circles, they are also called the meridians. They are the meridians or longitudes in general. They are longitudes. Then it is also important to notice that there is this meridian which is 0 degrees, and that is the reference point for all other meridians. And therefore we are saying NB again, the meridian or the longitude which is 0 degrees and passes through Greenwich. Greenwich is a name of a city in London. So Prime Meridian or Greenwich Meridian is named after this city in London where it passes. Therefore we are saying in London is called the Greenwich Meridian. The Greenwich Meridian, or simply the prime, as we had said, meridian. The prime meridian. Therefore, it is important to note that all the longitudes are great circles. All the longitudes are great circles because they all cut from North Pole to the South Pole, dividing the Earth's sphere into two. And therefore, such circles which cut the Earth's surface into two equal portions, we are calling it great circles, or the meridians, or the longitudes. Then we have the 0 meridian now. It is good to master that. It is good again to note that all other meridians are referred or are named with reference to the prime meridian. So the position of any other meridian now is determined by where it is from the 0 meridian. Therefore, if this is 0 meridian from north to south, then this other meridian can be some degrees from the 0 meridian, and now we name these ones after the degrees it has, or how far it is from the Greenwich Meridian. Therefore, if from the Greenwich Meridian, the other longitudes are either to the east or to the west, then we name the angle it is from the 0 meridian and the direction it is. For example, if we say this is 40 degrees, it is on the east side, and therefore we can say this longitude is 40 degrees east. So it is named with reference to the degrees it is from the 0 meridian. Again, we have these ones on this side. This one can be 90 degrees. So if from 0, this meridian is at 90 degrees, from 0 it is 90. then we can say that now this particular meridian or longitude is 90 degrees west. So when we mean west, we mean with prime meridian as the reference, 90 degrees to the left or to the west, for that matter. Therefore, that is what we call great circles. We have something else we are calling small circles, and small circles are latitudes. Consider this sphere. If we have a sphere like this, want to draw it in 3 dimensions, we have these lines now, which cut across from east to west. It is now not from the south to the north pole, but from east to west. If we say this is the Earth's axis, which is passing exactly in between at the interior of the Earth, if we call that one the Earth's axis, then you discover that these circles which cut across from west to east or east to west, like this, it is true they are dividing the Earth's sphere, but they are not dividing it into 2 equal portions like the meridians. So you find we have these particular lines now, which are, yes, dividing the Earth's surface, but they are not dividing it into 2 equal parts, except this line, which is cutting at the center from A to B, which is cutting at the center, and we call it 0 degrees, and its name is equator. Therefore, we say that we have these circles whereby you find that their plane is perpendicular to the Earth's axis. The Earth's axis is going downwards and their plane is cutting across. Therefore, you find that the plane of the circle from A to B in that diagram is the only circle which divides the Earth into 2. So the other planes now are dividing the Earth, but we have a bigger portion and a smaller one, depending on which side they are now from this one. So such a latitude which divides the Earth into 2 is called the equator, and it is 0 degrees. So this is the equator and it is 0 degrees. Therefore now the other latitudes are now dividing the Earth into unequal portions, and therefore that is what we are saying the other small circles or the other small circles divide the Earth into 2 but unequal portions. So it is only the equator which divides the equator amongst the small circles. So the equator is a small circle but a special case which behaves like the longitudes. So it is only the equator which divides the Earth's surface into two equal portions. Therefore, to define now small circles, we can say that NB, small circles are the circles whose plane is perpendicular or normal to the Earth's axis. Therefore, if the Earth's axis is penetrating right from the top through the interior of the Earth to the bottom, then you find that these type of circles are cutting the Earth's surface such a way that their plane will be perpendicular to the Earth's axis. And we are saying such circles are called small circles, and they are also known as latitudes. They are also called latitudes. Let me demonstrate whatever I am saying. So in this case, you find that there is this special longitude which is cutting from the North Pole to the South Pole, like that. We are calling it 0 degrees. It is this one. Its name is either prime meridian or Greenwich meridian. Then we are saying that when you follow this circle now, you will find that you divide this sphere into two equal portions. Every other longitude is cutting from the North Pole to the South Pole. North Pole to the South Pole. And therefore we are saying that all these longitudes which are going downwards from north to the south, they are dividing the sphere into equal portions. And that's why we call them great circles. Now, when we observe now the other lines which are cutting the sphere across, this one is 0 degrees, and we have called it the equator. Therefore now, the other latitudes or small circles will be referred now with reference to this one. Therefore, they can be either some degrees to the south or some degrees to the north of the equator. Therefore, the equator is 0 degrees, and the other latitudes are named with reference to the equator, depending on how far either northwards or southwards from the equator. Therefore, this the equator, it is 0 degrees. You'll find that now, if you consider the plane which has been made by this circle we are calling equator, that plane is very perpendicular to the Earth's axis, which is passing in the interior of the Earth. So if we call this one the Earth's axis, and we consider the planes which have been made by the small circles, then you find that the small circles are making planes which are very perpendicular to the Earth's axis. We call them latitudes or small circles. With that, allow me give something which is called the position of a place on the Earth's surface. The position of a place on the Earth's surface. The position of a place on the Earth's surface. Now, it is good to realize this. Some notes. All the longitudes, are named with reference to the prime meridian and all the latitudes are named with reference to the equator. Therefore, all longitudes are named with reference to the prime meridian. All latitudes or small circles are named with reference to the equator. So with that now, we should know that a place is identified by the intersection of its latitude and longitude, named as a pair in the order latitude, longitude. Therefore now, the position or the place where a certain town is or a city is identified by mentioning the latitude and the longitude. Then you place them as a coordinates in this order. You begin with the latitude, then the longitude. This is what we are saying. I want you to capture the explanation well. Let me give a good illustration of that. When we have the sphere of the earth like this, we are saying that we have the prime meridian or the Greenwich meridian, which is 0 degrees. Then we also have the equator, which is 0 degrees. Now with that, you will find that we have longitudes which are going downwards like this. These are longitudes, also called great circles. These ones are now small circles, also called latitudes. These are latitudes now. So you may find, for example, from now 0 degrees equator, this latitude is 40 degrees and this is the north of equator. This one can be 52 degrees, but this is the south part of equator, like that. Now, with reference to the prime meridian, we can say maybe this longitude now here is 30 degrees, but to the east side of the prime meridian. This one here can be 82 degrees, also eastwards of the prime meridian. But when you come to the other side, you find this can be 46 degrees, but now west. This one can be 73 degrees, again west. Therefore now, you will find that for you to identify a place, you will check where a certain longitude has intersected with a given latitude. And for example, if we check latitude 30 degrees east, latitude 30 degrees east, is intersecting at a point with latitude 52 degrees. Therefore now, if we call this intersection point A, then we will say now that point A, the position of town A will be given by, in this order, latitude, longitude. Therefore, at point A, we have a latitude which is 52 degrees south, and a longitude which is 30 degrees east. So the position of A is 52 degrees south of the equator and 30 degrees east of the prime meridian. We can identify another town like, let's say town C. Town C, for example. When you observe town C, now we can give the coordinates of C. Town C is the latitude first. You begin with the latitude. So it is in this latitude. And along this latitude, you have said this latitude. This is a longitude, sorry. The latitude is this one. Therefore, C is along latitude 40 north. Therefore, C is 40 degrees north of the equator. And this is 82. When you follow this longitude well, it is longitude 82 degrees east of the prime meridian. Therefore, that's how we identify the position of a town. It is given as a pair or as a coordinates of the intersection of its latitude followed by the longitude. We can have the last example. If you are told, plot the following places on the Earth's surface. On the Earth's surface, then you are told part A, we have 20 degrees south, 40 degrees west. This is A. Then another one, which is B, is 80 degrees north and 10 degrees east. Then lastly, Roman 3, we have a 40 degrees in the south and 18 degrees in the west. Plot these places on the Earth's surface, because coming up with the position of a place on the Earth's surface is very key. More so when we go to the next subtopic, you must be having this one as the basis. Therefore, the solution to this, you first sketch very fast the Earth's sphere like that, and very fast you come up with your prime meridian. This is 0 degrees, and your equator 0 degrees. You first of all come with that. Then now we want to identify town A or place A. Place A is 20 degrees south. So we said the positioning starts with the latitude, and therefore A is in latitude 20 degrees south. So from the equator, 20 degrees south, just here, 20 degrees. Sorry, it is 20 degrees south. So that is 20 degrees, but this is the north part. Therefore, for you to know A, you want 20 degrees, but in the south. So with 0 degrees equator here, 20 degrees south is in the lower part, or in the southern hemisphere. 20 degrees in the south. So A is 20 degrees in the south and 40 degrees west. Therefore now the second part in this gives us the longitude. And therefore we need longitude 40 degrees in the west. Therefore with 0 degrees here, we can identify 40 degrees. You can say this is 40 degrees in the west, like that. So now you check where 20 degrees south and 40 degrees west have intersected. And that is where town A is. Where 20 degrees south and 40 degrees west have intersected. That is our town A. Town B is 80 degrees north. Therefore, from 0 degrees equator, 80 degrees north. So 80 should be somewhere here. Very far from 0. 80 degrees north and 10 degrees east. Therefore now this part is giving us the longitude. Therefore if this is 0 degrees, the prime meridian, then east is the right hand side, and therefore you get 10 degrees in the east. 10 degrees in the east. So where 80 degrees north and 10 degrees in the east have intersected, there we give our town B like that. Then lastly we have C. Town C is 40 degrees south. So if this is 0 degrees, the equator, and this is 20 degrees, then we can have the latitude with 40 degrees here. 40 degrees south and 18 degrees west. So remember we had already plotted 40 degrees west, meaning just 18 degrees is somewhere before the 40. So this is 18 degrees in the west. Therefore, we will look now where 40 south and 18 west have met. And this point of intersection is giving us our town C. So that's how we locate or plot places on the Earth's surface. The concept of plotting the coordinates of a given place on the Earth's surface is very crucial. Make sure you master it. And I now welcome you to the next subtopic, which will be the differences in longitudes and latitudes on the Earth's surface. Thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel and share. Thank you.